Sports Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
Nice job by the Pistons tonight, fighting through the fatigue. Final seconds tick off the clock. It's official. The Pistons are winners. 127 to 119.
You take pride in understanding how hard it is to do any of those things in this league. You know, we expect more, but you can't, disrespect how difficult it is to do any of those things in this league. And it is a big deal for our guys in this organization to get ourselves back in that position and in position to do more.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into another episode of Sports Day. My name is Brant Daughtry. I am the host of this program. Landon Winkler is sitting over in the corner. He's running the video feed and the cameras. Today's show is presented by Barton Community College, offering exceptional and affordable learning opportunities, supporting student, community, and employee needs. We start every single show with the sounds of the past 24 hours. There was no Royals baseball on last night, and the Braves lost, so I didn't really want to focus on baseball. However, some very interesting basketball news last night. The Detroit Pistons, who have been one of the worst teams in basketball for the last 20 years, since the bad boy Pistons of the mid to late 90s, the Detroit Pistons have been terrible. Last night, they defeated the Toronto Raptors 127 to 116, and they have won the division title for the first time since the 2007-2008 season. Look, I know that this is not a basketball. I know that people around here don't really like the NBA a lot. I don't watch the NBA a ton, but this is a big deal. The Pistons have been a joke in the NBA for, a very long time, about as long as I can remember. And like I said, you have to go back to 2008 for the last time that they won their division. But they have pulled it off. And, Detroit has been pretty good this year. And, a lot of it, what's most impressive about this win is they did it without their best player. Cade Cunningham is the point guard for the Pistons. And he's been outstanding this year. He is hurt right now, and not bad hurt, but out for the last week or so. And has still not come back. But he was out for this game, and the Pistons found a way to win anyway. And this was a back-to-back game for the Pistons. They played this game less than 24 hours after their last game, which I believe was in Los Angeles, and then they had to fly back to Detroit for this contest. And so, they got done at 1 a.m. in L.A. They fly back to Detroit, and then they play an afternoon game, and they still pull it off, and they wind up winning the Central Division over the Toronto Raptors, and it just a really, really impressive showing, I think, for the Detroit Pistons. So overall, congratulations to the Pistons. For any Pistons fans that are listening, congrats to you. Certainly not an easy thing to do, but that was the biggest story in the sports world last night, and very cool for the Pistons that they were able to pull that off. Sports Day is brought to you in part by the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend. Also by Sutherland's, helping you build it better since 1917. From quality lumber, plywood, and OSB to cabinets, plumbing, hardware, and power tools, they have everything you need to get the job done. Visit Sutherland's on 10th Street. Lastly, brought to you in part by the Barton Cougar Booster Club, continuing their efforts to make the Barton Community College athletics programs the best in the country. And I also want to talk about this. I forgot about this. You heard from J.B. Bickerstaff, the head coach of the Detroit Pistons, in the sounds the past 24 hours. Made it very clear that this is not where their aspirations end. They want to continue playing really well. I believe they're the first team to clinch a division in the NBA. I don't fact check me on that. I'm not positive, but I do think that they want to do more. And JB Bickerstaff said as much. He said, "Look, you celebrate this, but you celebrate it quickly, and then you move on because there's still a little bit of season left, and then obviously the Pistons feel like they've got a really good shot in the East in the playoffs. So should be an interesting down-to-the-wire kind of stretch. Thunder are pretty good. we got some Thunder fans in the area. That's the closest NBA team. You've also got the Denver Nuggets over in Colorado who are having a very good season. I'm a Hawks fan myself. The Hawks were supposed to be very bad, and all of a sudden they win 13 games in a row. They're up above the play-in line, so they're having a very good year as far as the Hawks are considered. But yeah, sitting in 6th right now and firmly in a playoff spot. So fingers crossed that keeps up. I don't know. Maybe some folks like the basketball stuff. We got a good show for you today. We're going to start things off with Brent Biggs, the head coach of Barton Community College baseball. That's a team that's scuffling a little bit. Still looking for their confidence. They're at 8-8 as they get ready for their week-long series with Dodge City, which will start tomorrow. And later in the show, we're joined by members of the Hoisington Cardinals softball team. This is a team that's off to a 6-0 start. They have played very well this year. Fewest runs they've scored in a game is 10. They are run ruling just about everybody. I believe they have a run rule in all but their first game. So a really, really fantastic start for Tim Boxberger and the Hoisington Cardinals. You'll hear from that group in the second half of the show. But we got to take our first break right now. When we come back, joined by Brent Biggs of Barton Community College Baseball. You're listening to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Barton Community College, in partnership with Golden Key Group, proudly offers the nation's first associate degree in federal human resources. This online program prepares anyone for remote federal HR careers across the government. Service members and military spouses can use MyCAA or GI Bill benefits to take the next step toward a flexible, rewarding career from wherever you are. Learn more at federalhr.bartonccc.edu.
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Get active with Rec Sports. Youth and adult baseball and softball leagues are now forming. Don't miss out on the summer baseball and softball leagues for all ages and abilities. Sign up today. Online registration is available at grapeandrec.com. Deadline April 12th.
It's all here at Grape and Rec. Live, play, explore at the Rec.
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brent Daughtry here with you, joined now by Brent Biggs, the head coach of Barton Community College Baseball. Coach, thanks for taking the time today.
You bet. Happy to be here.
So, Coach, let's talk a little bit about your team. I got to call them for the first time on Saturday, playing the doubleheader here against Colby. Just a weird week for your team, a tough week for your team. And you told me after the game that after losing 3 out of 4 to this Colby team, you're kind of searching for confidence right now.
Yeah, I mean, we have good players. We've played a good schedule. We've had a lot of success, and we're just in a funk right now, and baseball is a silly game. And, sometimes you trick yourself into being really good, and sometimes you trick yourself into being really bad. And, right now we're just trying to find that confidence, top to bottom, because it's kind of affected everyone. And, once we can get there and kind of overcome some adversity, we'll be just fine.
You told me something that was really kind of interesting just before we came on here. You teach up at the college, psychology of sport. Baseball is maybe the biggest blend, I'd say, of the physical ability and psychological necessity. I think when you see your team and just being an expert in the field of baseball and psychology, what do you see from your team, and how do you think they can get to where they want to be?
Oh, if I was an expert, we wouldn't be going through this right now, right? But I just, it can be very fragile, right? I mean, like I said, you trick yourself into being good and bad, and, some things don't go your way. And that's kind of how we've been. Like, all these guys have been the best players on their team, and most of them, we recruit from really good teams, and they haven't had a ton of struggles in baseball. They haven't had a ton of struggles in life. And, when it first hits them, it takes a while to kind of overcome and understand, what the day-to-day process looks like and what they need to do to be successful. And, I think that some guys they let it consume them, right, on and off of the baseball field. And I think we just got to kind of simplify things, and I think that's the key to it. It can be a really simple game if you allow it to be, and it can be a really complicated game if you allow it to be. And that's been kind of the message right now is let's just keep it as simple as possible, and play as good as baseball as we can. And, last year we had a really good season. We won the league. Things went our way most of the year, and we've dealt with some adversity in the playoffs, and we went 0-2, and I told him, I said, I'd rather do it now and sacrifice winning the league and make a run in the playoffs. And, if we stay together and we keep pushing through, I think we'll be just fine.
Every coach that I talk to from Barton talks about how the adjustment period is between us being a senior in high school and a freshman in college. And in a 4-year school, you've kind of got the runway built in where your freshman year, you're kind of getting your feet wet. And coaches at Barton just don't have that luxury. You don't have the ability to get a guy up to speed. He's got to come in ready to play.
Yeah, and so you try and get talented kids. You get good people, good students, guys that can handle their business on and off the field and work hard. And, we kind of project, hey, this guy, it's probably going to happen for him as a freshman. This guy's a sophomore. And then you kind of go off of that. But, we're lucky. We have a fall season that we get to scrimmage, but the scoreboard's not on, the lights aren't on. It's not quite the same. And so you really never know how guys are going to respond. And, we're trial by fire in the spring. And, we've had some guys that have really stepped up, and had good springs, and guys that have struggled a little bit. And, everyone kind of runs their own race in terms of development. And so, I think guys grow up between their freshman and sophomore years the most, but we're going to need them to grow up here in the next couple weeks.
Your batting lineup has been just exceptional. That's not something that's struggled for you. You're scoring just shy of 12 runs a game right now. You've hit, I think, 53 home runs in 39 games, something like that. The bats are there, Coach. You're scoring enough runs to win these games. And I just watching this lineup on Saturday, I was impressed with the fact that your guys they're doing it in different ways too. They're being aggressive. They're going after first pitches if they feel like it's in the zone, but they've also shown the ability to work counts, get the pitch count up, and draw walks when they need to.
Yeah, when we kind of recruit, we try and get dynamic players that can run, that can hit, that can bunt, that can hit the ball over the fence, and that's kind of what we look for, and speed never goes into a slump, and so we like to play fast. We like to put pressure, and it's an offensive league. I mean, you look at the offensive numbers across the league and it looks like a video game, and the wind's blown, the balls are hard. So you got to score runs. And even with, our lineup and the ability to do a lot of different things, I still think there's a whole nother level that they can take it to. And, you look back at, over the last 2 or 3 weeks, if we do this a little better or we don't throw away an at bat here or there and, we find a way to win those things. And, so offensively we've been really good. On the mound, we've had some really good starts. We got to shore up the bullpen. Defensively is kind of the bugaboo right now. We have been extremely below average defensively, and it makes pitchers throw more pitches, and guys can't go as deep, and it just affects everything that you do.
You touched on the wind there, Coach, and that's something that has stood out to me since I've moved out here. Is, I talk on shows on this station all the time about the wind is just different out here, and I didn't really it didn't click with me how that would affect a baseball game until I came out here and watched one, and I'm going, this is dramatic, you know? Every pop fly is an adventure because you just got no idea where that ball is going to go because it's not a standard pop fly. It's being blown around by 40-mile-an-hour gusts.
Yeah, and, it's one of those things where you have to play to the conditions. If the wind's blowing out, to left, we probably need to stay out of the inside part of the plate. If it's blowing into right, hey, just let them hit it into it. And I don't think we've done an overly great job of that, but we talk about the confidence and the psyche, and, we do like fly balls. We've been maybe the worst fly ball in the country the last 2 or 3 weeks, but you come out and watch us practice-wise, like yesterday, first thing we do, fly ball communication, and we catch every single one of them, and the wind's blowing 40 miles an hour yesterday. And it's just, you get in the moment, you get in the heat of competition, and you just, that's where we talk about the confidence and knowing that you can go make a play. And, we practice in it, we play in it. So our guys, have kind of grown up in it, but it really does have a huge effect on the game, and you really have to be able to play the conditions.
So talking about the Jayhawk Conference right now, the Jayhawk West, you guys are in the dead middle of the table with an 8-8 record. That kind of lines up. And when you look at the league, where you are in the season, and the fact that you've got some pretty good teams coming up here in a couple of weeks, how do you assess your standings in conference play right now?
Right now, I try not to even really look at it. Even last year when we were really good and we were at the top, didn't really look at it. And you try and just focus on, okay, how can we get better today? Who do we have this week? Who cares what goes on in the league? We kind of control our own destiny. And more so than anything this year, I haven't paid much attention to it because we have struggled, and if we don't play better, then, we're going to be in the middle to the bottom. If we play better, then we're going to set ourselves up for a home playoff date, down the road. And I try and keep our guy, hey, let's just try and go play and who we're playing this weekend, and let's be better than we were yesterday, and things will shake out. But the good thing, it can be a good thing and a bad thing. We have everybody that's in front of us pretty much left, so we're going to have to play really good baseball.
When you are in a late game situation and you need to bring in the right guy on the mound, when you're giving up as many runs as you are right now, and like you said, everybody's giving up runs and the weather's crazy and all of these things, but when you have a bullpen that is maybe not the most confident in the world for whatever reason, how do you decide what guy to turn to in those moments?
It's a good question, and it seems like the last 3 weeks, when things aren't going well, everything's magnified. And it seems like in the last 3 weeks, we've either been too early, with making a change, or we've been too late with making a change, or we picked the wrong guy. And it all just kind of gets magnified. So it's one of those things. I mean, like I said, when it's going bad, and it's we've reached that point because it feels like any decision you make, hasn't been the right one, or, you just got to keep going, and everyone needs a kind of a reset button, and all right, new week, new opportunities, new challenges, and let's go see what we can do.
You've got Dodge City coming up this week. Looking at them, they're towards the bottom of Jayhawk West. They've won one conference game so far. And, Coach, tell me about Dodge. What are you expecting?
Another group similar to us. They came into the season with pretty high hopes, and thought they had a really good roster. And kind of like us as well, they've been kind of banged up. And so it's one of those things where it's two teams that are, they haven't won as many conference games, but two teams that are really trying to get the momentum rolling and get on the right side of things. And, they're really going to be offensive, which they have been, the last 3 or 4 years. They're going to try and play fast. And then, the key is, they pitching-wise, they have good arms. It's just a matter of how much are they going to be in the zone. And good team, good roster, and it's one of those things. It's a big series for both of us because both of us need to get going in the right direction. And, so it'll be a good challenge.
Coach, I want to talk a little bit about recruiting and the way things work. Something I noticed against Colby specifically, a lot of local kids. Kansas is the bulk of the roster for both teams. You've got some kids from Nebraska, Colorado, surrounding states, things like that. Noticed a lot of kids from Canada especially on Colby's roster, but on your roster as well. What is it about going north of the border that kind of opens things up for your squad?
Oh, we just, there's 18 junior colleges in the league, and, our roster is like 75% Kansas kids, and we're always going to prioritize the Kansas guys over anybody else. Obviously, we're in a good location for it, but, we've won with them in the past, and that's where we kind of start, and then you supplement out with kind of the surrounding states, and, it's a copycat league as anything, and, Colby, Cloud, some of the other schools in the league have had some really, really good Canadians throughout the years, and it's like, hey, let's maybe go give that a try. And we've had some good luck with them, and we've had some bad luck with them, But a lot of them come to America and they play, and you're able to get some eyes on them, and you get with some organizations you trust, and you just try and we're just trying to get good kids that want to work hard and kind of buy into what we're trying to do here. And so throughout the league, pretty much everyone has a Canadian presence just because it's, north of the border. And but I will say that, Barton probably has the biggest Kansas presence of any team in the league as well, and that will never change for us.
Coach, best of luck against Dodge City on Thursday and Saturday. Thanks so much for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
That's head coach Brent Biggs of Barton Community College Baseball joining us here on Sports Day. Big thanks to Coach Biggs for coming in. Really appreciate him. Our next broadcast, if you're curious, of Barton Baseball will be on the 11th. That's Saturday. They welcome in Hutchinson Community College, so we'll be on that. It also feels like a good time to tell you that we will not be airing Barton softball this weekend. A bit of a change of plans in the scheduling. That game, their game against Fort Hays Tech Northwest, their doubleheader against Fort Hays Tech Northwest is on Friday. We will not be able to make that, so no Barton broadcast this weekend. We will have Great Bend High School softball for you tomorrow. Believe the Great Bend is taking on Pratt, so that'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure Randy Gehring will be on that call over on B1043 The Point, but no Barton this weekend. So just wanted to update everybody. But yeah, what Barton baseball has done to this point, look, they're obviously a good team. They're an impressive squad, but things just haven't really clicked for them all the way through, I guess is the best way to put it. They're searching for their confidence right now. And, if we go back to the month of March, Seward County is one of the best teams in the league, and they took 3 out of 4 from Barton. Okay, a couple of games were close. Barton did win game 4, 9-4. So, all right. So, you take 1 out of 4 early in the season from one of the top teams in the country. Then you got to sweep over Pratt. Okay, that was great. But then you lost 2 out of 4 to Garden City. Garden City, game 1 on Thursday against Garden City. This was on March 19th. Finishes 3-2. All right, great win. In the second game of that doubleheader, Barton won 24-3. So Barton sweeps. They get a run rule victory in the second game, and then they lose the next 2 games 18-16. Both games were 18-16, and it really has felt like since Barton lost that doubleheader at Garden on the 21st, things have been kind of iffy. They got a run rule win. Try saying that 3 times fast. Against Cowley on the 24th. That was the lone game they played against Cowley. But then they lost 3 out of 4 to Colby. And that 18-17 loss to Colby in the first game of that doubleheader. That game went 10 innings, and a reminder, it was supposed to only be 7 because it was the first of the 2 doubleheaders. Or the first game in the doubleheader, I should say. And Barton lost that game 18-17. Then they lost game 2, 15-12. Then they lost game 1 of the hosting doubleheader, 6-5. And Colby came in not a very good team record-wise. They did not have a win in conference play until they won those first 3 games against Barton. Now, Barton did get game 4 by a final of 12-8, but it kind of feels like Barton's standing on some shaky ground right now. Where, again, when they came into the season with high hopes, they expected to be really good, and it hasn't totally materialized yet. And it really does go back to, you can say that Seward County loss if you want, but again, Seward's very good. But to get 1 out of 4 from Seward, then the sweep of Pratt, and then the first 2 games against Garden, but really those 2 18-16 losses against Garden. Barton has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses in their last 7 games since that doubleheader. And it's just a weird feeling to know how good this team is from a talent perspective and know what they've done the last couple of years, to see them kind of scuffling at the moment, kind of searching for the answers at the moment. Now, still, overall record, still pretty good. They're 23-10, but they're 8-8 in the conference, which puts them at dead middle of the Jayhawk West. So lots of ground to make up, but still, most of their remaining games are against teams that are ahead of them in the standings. So there's certainly opportunity to make this thing work. They've got a couple of series left, and they've got Dodge this week, a couple of midweeks, and then Hutch and Butler and Cloud, and then they finished off with 3 games at home against, or 3 games at home, 3 games in Pittsburgh, against Labette. And I don't know what the answer is for this team. The bullpen is struggling a little bit. Call it what it is. The weather has played havoc with the outfield and on infield pop-ups. Guys are just having trouble locating the balls like they should because, again, you're dealing with 40-mile-an-hour gusts, but at the same time, you practice in the same conditions. So I don't really know what the answer is for Barton, but I have full confidence that they can find it. Brent Biggs has been doing this for a long time at a very high level, but it is a little tough at the moment for Barton. So, with all that said, moments for a drink of water there. Sports Day is brought to you in part by Kern Floor Service, where they need a new ceramic, porcelain, or natural stone floors. Their knowledgeable and friendly flooring experts are here to help you find the perfect floor for your home decor and budget. Visit the Great Bend Showroom at 908 Coolidge to see, touch, and feel the latest styles. Also, by Cody Crook of Red Cedar Land Company. Whether you're looking to sell your land or find the right property to buy, Cody takes pride in understanding your goals and making the process as smooth as possible. Call Cody at 620-617-7320 or visit redcedarland.com. Got to hit our next break. On the other side, Tim Boxberger, head coach of Hoisington softball, along with sophomore Reese Allward, junior Bryn Tarleton, and senior Kelsey Meyer, all join us in the studio to talk about their season so far. You're listening to Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Hey, Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Get active with Rec Sports. Youth and adult baseball and softball leagues are now forming. Don't miss out on the summer baseball and softball leagues for all ages and abilities. Sign up today. Online registration is available at greatbendrec.com. Deadline April 12th.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the Rec.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
C&E Doors, this is Cindy.
Do you have any residential doors?
Yes, we do. We just got a full shipment of standard residential doors in.
Papa said we have a load.
Hadley, you can't say that.
Papa does.
Boy, am I in trouble now.
I'll take care of both of you later.
We know how hard residential doors are to find right now, so hurry while supplies last.
Way to change the subject, Dad. You're not off the hook yet.
Hey, announcer, help me out of this.
C&E Doors, Great Bend, and Hayes.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl. carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor. And don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
Parents, if your student is planning for college this fall, Barton Community College enrollment days make the process simple. In one visit, your student can meet with advisors, choose classes, explore financial aid, and get everything set for the semester ahead. Barton's team is here to guide them every step of the way. Sign up for a Barton enrollment day and get started today. Go to enroll.bartonccc.edu.
The Royals are back from an off day, taking on the Twins in Game 2.
To right field, Acuna is at the track, at the wall, and it hits the top of the wall, and it's gone.
Carter Jensen, young Carter, you stud. Fastball in the inner half, 95 miles an hour.
It's the Royals and Twins, Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on 1590 KBGB and 95.5 FM. Royals baseball is presented by Gleason Landscaping, Advanced Truck and Diesel, Next Tech, Sunflower Diversified Services, Mayo Money Management, and Crown Toyota. Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you, joined now by Tim Boxberger, Reese Allward, Bryn Tarleton, and Kelsey Meyer of Hoisington High School softball. Guys, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having us.
So, Coach, we'll start with you. I like to start with the coaches and kind of get their thoughts on things so far. Your team is 6-0 so far, off to a really good start, and you've taken down some good teams to get to this point.
Yeah, we started out with Russell and Ellenwood and Nickerson, and all have improved from last year. So we played them all last year too, and cut.
No, we're going. We're rolling. So, guys, thanks so much for coming in. Coach, you brought 3 players in here today. You told me in the email when we were talking back and forth, you've got one member from 3 different classes here. Tell me about the girls you brought in and why you brought them.
Kelsey Meyer, she's the senior. She'll be a senior leader for us. She plays first base. Bryn Tarleton's a junior. She's our number 1 pitcher. And Reese Elward is a sophomore. She was a part-time starter last year, full-time starter this year. She plays shortstop, second base, and pitches a little bit.
So a sophomore who was getting starting action last year and is now the full-time.
Yeah, she was a spot starter last year. We had a bunch of seniors last year, but, she made probably 8 to 10 starts last year. And Bryn and Kelsey were full-time starters last year. So.
All right, so Kelsey, you're the senior leader in the room. We'll start with you. I talked a little bit about being the senior to this group right now. Obviously more seniors on the team, but you're the one that was chosen to represent.
Yeah, last year with that large of a senior group, it was like they had a lot of stuff under control, and so to step up is important, and it's fun to have like the younger classmen, like they're a big part of our team with so many freshmen and sophomores, so it's just fun having all them out there with us.
So you're at first base. You talk about playing first base defensively. What kind of things you look out for, and kind of I feel like first base is supposed to be like the anchor of the defense. You see more action than just about anybody else. I feel like most outs in softball are recorded at first, and so to be the first baseman for the team, what does it mean defensively to you?
Yeah, it's an important part, but it's everybody else out there helping me out, like good throws. It's what makes my job easier. So it's really just a whole team thing.
And so, Bren, you're coming in. You're the junior for this squad. You're the number 1 pitcher for this group. Talk about being in the circle and what it means to kind of be the number 1.
Well, whenever you have your team behind you and cheering you on, it definitely helps pitching and making me more calm in the circle. So it definitely helps.
What type of pitcher are you? What's your I guess what do you throw? What do you like to throw? What's your go-to pitch? What's your out pitch?
My go-to pitch is probably a rise ball, but probably a curve for my outgoing pitch.
Nice. And we've also got Reese Allward in here. Reese, thanks so much for coming in. You're the sophomore. You're the youngster in this group right now, but what does it mean that your coach came to you and said, hey, I want you to come and represent your sophomore class?
I appreciate it a lot. Sorry. I appreciate it a lot. It's really an honor to be here with everyone today. I like being the younger one. I can help out everyone. I look up to all of them, and I really appreciate them all.
Yeah, talk a little bit about some of the older members of this class. You're the younger one. You're the one starting for the first time, full-time starter. Talk about kind of looking up to the older members on the team.
Yes, I like having the older group. They really show me how I should perform and not let something take me down. I need them. They really help me. And I just look up to them. They show me the way, and I can do that for when I'm upperclassman for them.
And, Coach, let's get back to you on Mike 2 here. What is what's the identity of your team? When you go out there, what do you want to see from your squad?
Well, we have a lot of new starters, 6 new starters, so we're fairly inexperienced. So I feel like we're a pretty good offensively, pretty good team. So really like to see how our defense reacts and how we perform, and really just to see how they react if they make an error. Just try to get over them and get a little past that, because I know the first game we made an error or two, and it kind of was like a little circus out there for a little while. But game 2 come back and they showed their composure, and it was so much better. So
there's something to be said for a new group of starters and girls that aren't used to that action, or any athlete that is starting at this level for the first time. You want to see how they react to that adversity, because it is a different level of pressure. Right. From, I guess, JV to varsity in this case, but from middle school to high school at any level, there is a different kind of expectation that you have to put on these kids.
Right, and that's what you look for. You can go and practice, and you can make every play in practice, fantastic play, hit home runs, whatever, but once you get on the field at the varsity level, you kind of just see if they can carry that from practice to the games. And so far, we've been able to do that. They've played really well so far this year.
And so, guys, you Brandon Kelsey, I know have played volleyball as well, and so you guys are used to being high-level contributors on a really good team. How do you carry that experience? And Kelsey, we'll start with you. How do you carry the experience from other sports playing at a high level to now you're into spring? And how much easier does that make it that you've been competing all year long? You're just now doing it in a different sport.
Yeah, it's just like carry the momentum over, like, okay, volleyball's done, now it's basketball. Basketball's done, now it's softball. And, it's your last high school sport, so you just want to make the most of it and just have fun out there while you still can.
Yeah. There's something, Coach, the fun side of it, right? The fun of softball. I think it is the sport that is so uniquely geared towards, I don't know, just being able to relax and have a good time. And while, it's competition and you want to be competitive during that process, there is also the case of there's a availability for just girls to go out there and have a good time as well.
Yeah. We talk about that. We want to have fun. That's why we're out playing the sport. So, you still, when it comes time to get down and get ready for a game, we get after it. But even at practice and at games, if you're not having fun, what's the point of being out there? So we try to stay competitive and have fun at the same time, and just that works. It works really well for us.
Here's a fun question I like to ask when a coach is in the room. Girls, describe Coach Boxberger to me. What kind of coach is he?
Coach Boxberger's probably a very laid-back coach, but he'll always crack jokes with us and everything. And, whenever it's time to be serious, he knows, we have to be serious. But overall, he's really calm.
Coach, you okay with that assessment?
Yeah, I can live with that. I was expecting a lot worse than that, but I can live with that.
So, talking about the season so far, Coach, you've already gone over the teams that you have beaten. And the numbers, the stats, just the runs that you've been able to put up so far, Tell me about the lineup that you have and how you. I think your lowest run score total has been 10 so far this year. Tell me about the players that are in your lineup that have really started to come through for you.
Okay. Yeah, we talked in practice about being aggressive on the base pass this year. So we really wanted to get the running game going and take the extra base. So that's kind of helped with our runs, scoring more runs, and we've actually been running stealing more bases. So that's a lot of it. But we got some really good hitters top to bottom. I mean, I can go through the whole lineup if you want me to.
No, we've got time. We've got time.
I mean, Bryn leads off. She's a good table setter. You know, she'll draw the walk. She has really good on-base percentage. And then Marley Brewer, who's another junior. I don't know what her average is, but she's like a power hitter. She drives in a lot of runs, and then Reese comes in behind. They're kind of the same. You know, we looked out there yesterday, and other than Kelsey, who's about 6 foot tall, we're all about 5'4" and 5'5". They didn't have numbers on their backs. We wouldn't know who they were. So, but yeah, as we go, then Kelsey comes in, and Reese Vaughn, she does the catching for us. She's another sophomore. She's really improved her bat this year, and Macy Strongs and others. We started a lot of sophomores. Macy Strongs in center field, Aubrey Martin, right field, and another pitcher, another sophomore. And Riley Vaughn is our senior, and she plays left field. So everybody's just hitting the ball, being aggressive on the base paths, and it's just worked for us.
That's got to be nice to have sophomores that are ready to come in and ready to be aggressive and to show kind of, and Reese, I'll talk to you about this, to be kind of younger, but to get, again, to know what the expectation is and to come in and to deliver offensively like that. That's what does it mean to kind of be able to step into that role, even though it's your first year as a full-time starter?
Yes, it's really good to see from like last year, my freshman year, of seeing all of the expectations and stuff that I have to try to be, and just watching all of them, and then now coming into playing my sophomore year is just very hard or very easy for me to play now because I've seen them all do it.
And so you guys have, oh gosh, I'm looking at the schedule. You have Larned on Tuesday, right? That's your next game. Coach, tell me about Larned. What have you seen from them?
Larned's much improved. They'll be probably the toughest team we've faced this year so far. I know they got their pitching, I believe, Jaden Crosby, and I don't know who else they have. Yeah. So she'll provide a big problem for us, so we'll be ready for her in practice. We'll have to crank up the pitching machine this week. So, yeah, then we got Pratt on Friday, which will be another step up. I see they swept Halstead yesterday. So, but we've seen their pitchers before, but we'll be ready for them.
Guys, good luck, and thanks so much for coming in today.
All right. Appreciate it.
That is head coach Tim Boxberger, along with sophomore Reese Allward, junior Bryn Tarleton, and senior Kelsey Meyer of Hoisington Softball, joining us here on Sports Day. Big thanks to Coach Boxberger and the girls for coming on the show today. Really fun group to talk to. They were nervous, you could tell, which is always funny to me because I still get nervous before I come on air, but I've just been doing this stuff so long. I've been talking to a microphone for, oh gosh, how old am I? I'm 27, so I've been talking into a microphone for about 10 years now, and I'm just not as nervous as I used to be about it all. But no, the girls were great, and Coach is great, and if they continue to have a season like they're having right now, we'll probably have them on a couple more times before the softball season comes to a close. But yeah, that team is. I'm trying to look right now. They're 6-0 at the moment, and have just been really impressive so far. Some of their stats on Max Preps, they're not completely updated yet, but I mean they've got girls that are hitting over 500, and like I said, they're scoring. Let me read you off their final scores real quick, just to show you how well they have done as a team. So they opened up with a doubleheader against Russell on the 24th. They won game 1 10-7. That is the fewest runs they've scored. It's also the closest game they have played. They won the second game of that series 17-1. They swept Ellenwood in a doubleheader 12-1 and 14-4. And then last night they took down Nickerson in a doubleheader 18-3 and 19-1. So obviously all of those numbers really impressive from that bunch. They gave up 10 runs in game 1. And like Coach Boxberger said, they had some errors. They had some things they had to work on. But overall, just it's really impressive the way that they've been able to go in and more or less dominate teams to this point. And they expect to, I'm sure they expect to continue to have a really, really good season. And I'm very excited to watch them. It should be a whole lot of fun. Softball, I've said it before on this show, or maybe I haven't. I love baseball and softball. I come from a very baseball and softball heavy family. I never played baseball myself. I did not like either sport until I was like 13 years old. Something happened in like late 2012, I think it was. And I just suddenly liked baseball. And since then, when I knew I was going to get into this, I feel like baseball and softball are just the most fun sports to watch. Well, I won't say they're my favorite sports to watch. Football is my favorite sport. It always has been. My love for basketball is relatively new. But when it comes to calling sports, I feel like baseball and softball are so uniquely situated to being called on the radio. Those types of sports are just so, they're a little bit slower. They allow for a little more conversation, painting of the picture, so to speak. And if you just follow the ball the whole time, you're usually going to be where you need to be, just as speaking from a play-by-play perspective. And that's the case in most sports, but with baseball and softball especially. Well, softball, I got to call a lot of softball when I was doing my master's degree at Auburn. And getting to go up there and call college softball and kind of experience the game on a little bit of a deeper level, I realized how much I enjoyed watching softball. The game is so much faster than baseball is, which I know a lot of fans love. Batting averages tend to be higher, but that doesn't mean you can't have great pitchers. It doesn't mean you can't have great defensive numbers. And I really do appreciate softball for the niche that it fits. And there were days where I would call 4 softball games in a weekend, but it would feel like the time was flying by. And I really appreciate the speed, the pace that game has, because I feel like it's something that holds a lot of people off of loving baseball. And while I do love going to a baseball game and sitting there for 4 hours just watching 9 innings and kind of feeling the pace of the game, I understand why people do love the faster game of softball. So I guess what I'm getting at here is if you are someone who thinks that the sport of baseball is interesting, but it just takes too long, maybe go sit at a softball game, see what happens. Could be a really fun time for you. You never know. You never know until you give it a shot. So maybe go give softball a try if you haven't. I certainly love softball, and like I said, upset that I can't call Barton softball this weekend, but we will pick them up next weekend, or no, the weekend after. We'll pick them up the weekend after, because we'll be handling Barton and Hutchinson on the baseball diamond on this upcoming Saturday. Sports Day is brought to you in part by Equity Bank. There when you need them. Bank local, save big. With in-person banking and business banking, visit equitybank.com for more information. Equity Bank in Great Bend, Hoisington, and Larned. Also brought to you by C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange signs south of 10th and Harrison. We got to take our final break of the show. We'll talk Royals and Twins on the other side of this break. You're listening to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmy's make it happen.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
Cini Doors, this is Cindy.
Do you have any residential doors?
Yes, we do. We just got a full shipment of standard residential doors in.
Papa said we have a load.
Hadley, you can't say that.
Papa does.
Boy, am I in trouble now.
I'll take care of both of you later.
We know how hard residential doors are to find right now, so hurry while supplies last.
Way to change the subject, Dad. You're not off the hook yet.
Hey, announcer, help me out of this.
C&E Doors, Great Bend, and Hayes.
The Royals are back from an off day, taking on the Twins in Game 2.
To right field, Acuna is at the track, at the wall, and it hits the top of the wall, and it's gone.
Carter Jensen, young Carter, you stud. Fastball in the inner half, 95 miles an hour.
It's the Royals and Twins, Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on 1590 KBGB and 95.5 FM. Royals baseball is presented by Gleason Landscaping, Advanced Truck and Diesel, Next Tech, Sunflower Diversified Services, Mayo Money Management, and Crown Toyota. Welcome back. Final couple of minutes of Sports Day here on this Wednesday. Show is brought to you in part by the Great Bend Rec, providing quality leisure, cultural, sports, fitness, and educational programs to improve the quality of the community and the individual lives of the community members. Also in part by Freedom Claims Management. Let the experienced and dedicated staff at what do they call it during the commercial? FCMI? FCMI. It's easier to say. Let the experienced and dedicated staff at FCMI customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's needs. Hope everybody has enjoyed the program today. I told you we were going to preview the Royals and the Twins tonight. Game 2 of 3 in this series between Kansas City and Minnesota. So far this year, well, let me say this. The Royals come in at 2-2, and the Twins are 1-3. This is a division game. They're both AL Central teams. You already knew that. Twins are sending out Joe Ryan, 29-year-old right-hander. He is 0-0. He has one start on the year. He went 5 1/3 innings, struck out 7, did not allow a run. While the Royals are going to throw out Noah Cameron. Noah Cameron has not started a game yet this year. Last year, I believe it was last year, he started 24 games, went 9-7 with a 2.99 ERA. So you've got Joe Ryan versus Noah Cameron. Ryan, I believe, was one of the better pitchers in the country or in the league last year. Has a career ERA of 3.76. Yeah, that'll get it done. Let me see. Last year, 3.42 ERA last year. Went 13-10 in 31 starts. Certainly
You would think that a guy with a 3.42 ERA should be better than 14-10, except the Twins are terrible. So that goes to show a lot. But will be a pretty tough will be a pretty tough matchup tonight, as the Twins are going to throw Noah Ryan out there and see what they can do. And it should be an interesting game. Again, I talked about the Royals a little bit last show. This is a team that has a lot of potential if they can stay healthy, especially in that starting rotation. I really like the rotation that Kansas City has right now. I think defensively they're a very good team as well. So if they can, one, stay healthy, which I think goes for all 30 teams, and if they can, two, find a way to get the bats more consistent. I don't even think they need better bats. I think they need more consistent bats. And if they can find that, then I think they'll be an incredible, or not incredible, but I think they'll be a very good baseball team that should expect to at least make the divisional round. And they continue to go. They're currently 2-2, tied for the best record in the AL Central. Don't hang the banner yet. No, it's still a very long way to go, but I do really like the Royals this year. I think they've got a very good shot. Need to let everybody know that there will not be an episode of Sports Day tomorrow. The Royals and Twins are playing Game 3 of that series. Coverage will start at either noon or 12:30. Either way, we will be broadcasting Royals Radio Network stuff whenever we would be usually having Sports Day. So no Sports Day tomorrow. We are back on Friday. And so far, not 100% nailed down who's going to be on that show yet. Obviously, we'll talk to Connor Nickel of Sunflower Sports Solutions, as we always do on a Friday. But we'll have someone else lined up as well. And I'm really looking forward to it. So I hope everybody has enjoyed today's program. Big thanks to Landon Winkler over in the corner for running the video feed and the cameras. Also a big thanks to Brent Biggs. If I called him Brant. No, Brent Biggs, the head coach of Barton Community College Baseball, as well as Tim Boxberger, the head coach of Hoisington Softball, along with sophomore Reese Alliard, junior Bryn Tarleton, and senior Kelsey Meyer of that program as well. That's going to do it for today. We will not be doing this again tomorrow, but we will be back for you on Friday. Tune in 12:30 right here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. This has been Sports Day.